Hello there, folks. My name is Spoonks, and I saw Plankton the movie, and I actually kind of liked it. Shocking, I know, considering the place SpongeBob is in right now. It's the cool thing to hate modern SpongeBob, and especially after the last spin off film with Sandy Cheeks, I can't blame you. That movie was rough, and it didn't help that this movie suffered a similar fate to that movie where it was leaked super early, I believe last year, and then just got dumped onto Netflix recently. So again, the expectations were very low on this one coming off of that train wreck, but surprisingly this movie wasn't that bad. It doesn't reach the heights of the first two movies in my opinion, but it's actually a really sweet, funny, cute little spin-off involving Plankton. What really works is that we really dive into his character and his relationship with Karen. It actually leads to a really touching, sweet story about him learning to stop being such a jerk and such a bad husband to Karen. We actually go through his backstory, and it's handled in a typical SpongeBob manner. Funny, silly, sometimes stupid, but also generally touching and sweet. I like seeing Plankton form his relationship with Karen, and their chemistry really works here. And also, we cut back to the modern day where Karen is causing destruction, and I like her various personalities, and of course Plankton's dynamic with SpongeBob as he tries to figure out how this all went wrong is also really cute and funny. At least some stupid dumb moments here and there, and we'll get to that later, but Plankton and SpongeBob being a dynamic duo is still fun to watch here. The animation is also pretty solid for this type of movie. It's still definitely lower budget. It's not on par with, like, Sponge Out of Water or Sponge on the Run, but compared to, again, Sandy Cheeks, the animation is a big upgrade. It's more expressive, more colorful, and they actually utilize different animation mediums and styles here for like some of the background moments and the musical numbers, and it actually really works. It's very colorful, very lively. Had this been what the team used for the Sandy Cheeks movie, I think the movie would have been slightly benefited, and by slightly I mean like 0.5 points, if you know what I mean. The movie is also very, very funny. I laughed a lot. The writing here was really solid, whether it just be Plankton's, typical shtick, being this tiny little orb just trying to rule the world, or just the silly slapstick, and even some of the dark jokes here, because there's some moments where it gets a little dark and has a bit of an edge to it that I actually thought were pretty funny here. It actually made me laugh a lot. Not as hard or as loud as, like, again, the former SpongeBob movies, but the jokes here were really good. I laughed a lot, I chuckled here and there, and I had a big old stupid smile on my face throughout the movie. I also like the incorporation of some of the other smaller characters like Mrs. Puff and Pearl, who don't usually get to do a lot in these movies, but they get a chance to shine here, and the movie has a real appreciation for the newer continuity. We bring back a lot of the characters and certain scenarios and references to the newer episodes. The amazing guy is in this movie, and they bring back the gal pals, which I always really enjoy their episodes when they're in the show, and the dynamic between Sandy and, again, Mrs. Puff and Pearl is also really well done, and the expansion on the lore of Plankton and just exploring that aspect again was really interesting to figure out, and I thought it never felt like forced or like out of context, like the Camp Coral stuff and like Sponge on the Run. It actually felt really natural, and again, like I said, led to some very sweet, touching moments, and just actually provided some background info that I wasn't expecting to enjoy or even ever see, but this movie was able to do that really well. The movie isn't perfect, though. It still got some of the stupid humor of some of the newer episodes that's just like really loud, really random for the sake of being random at certain points. And SpongeBob does not feel as important to this movie as he has done in some other movies. Certainly more important than the Sandy Cheeks movie, but I'm sorry if I keep making comparisons to that, but just that movie. But when he's interacting with Plankton and bouncing off of him, his shtick and his jokes are really good, but when it's just him being the basis for comedy, unfortunately it does fall flat a bit. And despite the real insistence on the continuity of the newer episodes. There is some lore breaking and continuity errors with some of the older episodes, like Friend or Foe and stuff like that. We dive into Plankton's backstory, and there's some plot holes in retconning that I think some SpongeBob fans are going to be upset over, but it's nothing really like huge or major as to detriment the movie. But compared to like the show, I think some major SpongeBob fans are gonna get a bit heated, to put it lightly, over the retcons thrown here and there. And I also didn't think this movie needed to be a musical. The songs weren't bad. Hell, some of them were pretty entertaining, I will say, but I just felt like they slowed the movie down a bit, and they just didn't really needed to be in the movie. Again, some of them were really good, but some of them were admittedly really forgettable and just felt like they needed to stretch this out to feature length. But still, I was surprised by the Plankton movie. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it would. Who would have thought Plankton would get a better movie than Sandy? That is still mind-blowing to me. There's some good animation. The story's a lot sweeter and more touching than I thought it would be. Again, I liked seeing the relationship between Plankton and Karen and exploring his background and seeing how their relationship grew. I like seeing some of the characters who don't get to do much in these types of movies get a chance to shine, and the movie's actually pretty funny for the most part. It's not something you need to rush out to see or anything. I mean, it's on Netflix for a reason, so if you're interested in checking this out and you're a fan of SpongeBob, I'd say go give this a watch. It's definitely one of the better things the show has done in quite some time. So those are my thoughts on Plankton the movie. What did you all think of it? If you've seen it, did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links at the end of the video. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.
Oh, my Karen. Oh, my Karen. Oh, my computer wife, Karen. Put down those punch cards. Put down those punch cards. And listen to my ode. Oh, my Karen. Oh, my Karen. Oh, my computer wife, Karen.